Oh, excuse me. All right, so day 2. I started off in Nevada, kind of like the middle of Nevada, and then made it through Idaho entirely, and now I'm in Wyoming. And then I think these are the Tetons. I think the Tetons are this mountain range here that you can see the sun setting behind. What I did, I guess, today is I woke up super early. I had horrible sleep last night. Ended up waking up at like 5 because I couldn't sleep. So I did some research on my phone. I had cell service at my campsite, which was awesome. So I did some research with my phone and found this location, which is National Forest. And so it's fair game for free camping. As you can see, there's a trailer there in the distance. But what I ended up doing was coming from like that way. There's Nevada and Idaho, and then I came up. The freeway kind of went up this way and then went down to this village down there. I think it was Jackson. I think Jackson was the name of it. And then from Jackson, there's a freeway that comes up here. That goes up to Yellowstone. And in Jackson, I went to get gas. And after I got gas, I went to this grocery store to get some groceries for tonight because I wanted to get some stuff to eat. Because I'm getting kind of sick of the MREs already, only day 2. But I got some food from the grocery store, and while I was in the parking lot there, on the way in, this guy stopped me and was like, "Hey, where are you from? Where are you going?" And I talked to him for a little while. He had a DRZ 400 apparently, and is on ADV Rider, and has like the same GPS as mine, and is into the off-road riding and stuff, the adventure riding a little bit. Of course, the DRZ is a smaller bike, but still same kind of style. And so he was like, "Oh yeah, well, where are you going tonight?" And I was like, "Oh, I was trying to head up this free camping spot up here." And he was like, "Oh yeah, that's funny because I woke up there this morning." Apparently he lives around here and he just came up here for the day to camp. And he offered me to stay at his house if I wanted to. He said he was on Couch Surfers and seemed like a really nice guy. And I wanted to, but I wanted to make it to this campsite too. So I took his number and I told him I'd call him and let him know what I ended up doing. Anyway, so then I went in the store, got my food, and came out. And then when I came out, there was this guy that approached me that was like, "Oh, hey, what are you doing? What are you riding?" or whatever. He was on a bike too. It was like a 650 Husqvarna or something, which I'd never seen before. He said they made him 1 year only, apparently. Looked like a really cool bike, but brand new. And I told him where I was going, and he was like, "Oh, that's funny, I live right up there. Can I ride back with you?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And I was like, "Well, you live around here, so why don't you lead the way?" And he was like, "Okay." So I knew, because I GPSed which way I wanted to, or I knew like generally how to get to where I was going. And the first light we came to, he wanted to go straight, and my GPS was telling me to go right. So I mentioned it. I was like, "Hey, aren't we supposed to go right to get on this freeway or whatever?" And he was like, "Yeah, if you want to sit in traffic." And I was like, "All right, cool, I'll follow you." So he took me, that was in Jackson, which is way over there. And then he took me kind of around so the major freeway comes from Jackson and up this way. He took me kind of like around to the freeway, and then we crossed over the freeway and then came around this way. And then there was a point where he was like, "All right, well, I'm going to bail out this way. You can bail out this way, come up the freeway and hit your spot, or you can take this back road in." And I was like, "Well, I'll try the back road." So I tried the back road. It was like 10 miles of dirt, 10 miles of adventure riding or whatever. It was actually kind of intense. It reminded me a lot of Mexico, and not having another rider with me was a little bit nerve-wracking. I'm confident I can pick my bike up and stuff if it falls over. It's just really heavy, and it takes like all I got to pick it up. And that's assuming I'm okay or whatever, it didn't fall on me. So anyway, the dirt road wasn't that bad. It was okay. I mean, it was just a fire road that came up, and then I ended up following it down that way for a ways until I got to this stagnant like pond, and I was like, "Oh shit, that doesn't look so hot to camp by because there's crazy mosquitoes." I just stopped and they just swarm. One thing I've noticed is they like the heat of the bike. definitely when I stop with the bike, they just swarm around the bike. And that's why I'm kind of standing over here, is because the bike's still warm and it attracts the... Jesus, it scares me so bad. I don't know if you can hear that, but there's this bird. It must be some sort of hawk or something, but it flies all innocently, and then it just dives, and it makes this crazy ripping the air sound when it dives. You can't even see it anymore. Hopefully you heard that, but it's like right above. I think it's like hunting for little things flying in the air, little gnats or something probably. Oh, you can't even see that. Bummer. Anyway, hopefully you heard that. Hopefully it's not just me freaking out for no reason. Anyway, so I got some food from the grocery store. I got cheese, bread, and salami. And then I have a can of chicken noodle soup. So I was going to do that for dinner. And I got some tips from the two guys that I met on roads I should visit. It dived again. I don't know if you heard that. So my original plan was to stay here at this campsite for 2 nights, kind of treat it as a base camp, and go check out Yellowstone and come back, spend another night. Then in 2 days, take off for the Mount Rushmore. But these guys told me about this road that sounds awesome, so I might gotta go try to do that at some point. I don't know, but it's getting dark, so I gotta set my tent up and get my food rolling. So yeah, that's it for today. So I'm in Wyoming officially, just southwest of the Yellowstone Park. As you can see, I'm not the first person to have been here. There's a little fire pit already and a bunch of beer bottles over there. All right, see you guys later.